In a week, already drowning in economic unease and mounting political suspicion, Chancellor Rachel Reeves is being dragged into a spiralling scandal that threatens to ignite nationwide fury. What was supposed to be Labour's showcase moment, a spring statement signalling competence, compassion and control, has instead become a slow-motion car crash of clashing priorities, collapsing promises and unforced errors. From green policy betrayals to job cuts that reek of backdoor austerity, Reeves finds herself increasingly isolated, accused of abandoning the very voters her party vowed to protect. The public mood has soured, the backlash is brewing, and the term now ricocheting around Westminster, Reeves-terity, is not just a nickname, it's a warning. Let's dive into the full picture of this explosive scandal. Behind the official rhetoric and staged photo ops, Labour's economic plan is drawing fire from every angle. Reeves's promise to balance the books without breaking Britain is now being shredded by critics who see a government lurching into chaos. Electric vehicle owners face a stealth tax bombshell. London's private hire drivers are being crushed under new congestion charge rules. And civil servants, once told they'd be respected by a Labour government, are now facing mass layoffs in the name of efficiency. As the Chancellor tightens the fiscal belt, the country is beginning to ask, who exactly is paying the price for Labour's economic experiment? Behind the polished podium and carefully rehearsed sound bites, Chancellor Rachel Reeves is under siege. Her so-called responsible fiscal policy is in practice triggering a wave of outrage that is uniting strange bedfellows, from electric vehicle campaigners to Whitehall mandarins and Uber drivers across the capital. At the centre of the storm lies the upcoming spring statement, where Reeves is expected to outline what she calls difficult choices for the nation. But the choices she's making have already sparked fury across Britain. Electric vehicle owners, once the darlings of Britain's green revolution, are waking up to the cold reality that they're about to be punished for going electric. Starting April 1st, 2025, a tax change pushed through by former Chancellor Jeremy Hunt and now fully embraced by Reeves will impose vehicle excise duty, VED, on all EVs, including those registered before the date. The base rate, a flat £195 a year. But for higher-end EVs, those over 40,000 tonnes, owners will face an additional £410 per year for 5 years. That's more than £2,000 over the vehicle's early lifespan, all for choosing the type of car the government spent years begging people to buy. The backlash has been swift and fierce. The AAA, one of the UK's leading motoring bodies, is sounding the alarm. Their latest EV recharge report reveals that while charging prices remained frozen in February, petrol prices surged to nearly 40p per litre. That means, believe it or not, off-peak ultra-rapid charging is now cheaper per mile than petrol. And yet, because the VAT on public charging is stuck at 20%, while home energy is taxed at just 5%, millions of EV drivers without off-street parking are being forced to pay significantly more just to charge their cars. The AA has dubbed it the pavement tax, a brutal financial penalty for those without a driveway. And here's the kicker. The government could fix this tomorrow. A VAT reduction to 5% on public charging would save EV drivers nearly £5 per charge. That's hundreds in savings every year. But Reeves is refusing to commit. According to AA's Jack Cousins, this isn't just a tax, it's a deterrent. Without strong incentives at this early stage of EV adoption, he warned, drivers will be put off zero-emission vehicles. The Chancellor has a chance to encourage change, or she risks slowing it to a halt. Instead of offering relief, Reeves appears determined to squeeze more out of the sector, prompting many to accuse Labour of cynically cashing in on environmental virtue signalling. Her allies claim it's about levelling the playing field between petrol and electric drivers. Her critics say it's pure revenue extraction dressed up in eco-rhetoric. Either way, the message is clear. Labour's green promises are now colliding with its fiscal instincts, and the result is policy carnage. But the scandal doesn't end there. In London, Sadiq Khan's congestion charge changes are adding a fresh layer of political dynamite. As of December 25th, 2025, electric vehicles will no longer be exempt from the £15 daily congestion charge in central London. The cost for full-time Uber drivers, over £5,000 per year, on top of insurance, maintenance, and now the new road tax. For ride-hailing giants like Uber, this change is nothing short of a betrayal. Since 2018, the company has been working toward a goal of making all trips in London fully electric by the end of 2025. Their Power Up package has pumped £100 million into helping drivers switch to EVs. But the congestion charge move threatens to obliterate those savings, leaving thousands of drivers, many already on tight margins, wondering if they can afford to stay on the road at all. A spokesperson for Uber didn't hold back, warning that the new charge could derail their EV targets entirely. The exemption has been instrumental in making EVs attractive. London is a global leader in electric vehicle adoption thanks to bold policies, but we cannot do this alone. The message to Khan and, by extension, Reeves: you are sabotaging your own climate goals. At a time when public support for clean energy is at its most crucial, both Khan and Reeves seem to be backpedaling into financial pragmatism, and the cost will be borne by workers and consumers. Meanwhile, as green drivers and gig economy workers take to social media to vent their frustration, another political firestorm is erupting in Whitehall. Reeves, under pressure to deliver savings without raising taxes, has quietly greenlit plans to cut 10,000 civil service jobs, representing 15% of staff across multiple departments. The goal? A £2 billion efficiency windfall that she insists will be redirected to frontline services. But unions aren't buying it. Fran Heathcote, General Secretary of the Public and Commercial Services Union, blasted the plan as reckless and arbitrary. This is austerity by another name, she declared. The cuts will affect every single person who relies on government services. We've seen this before, and the result was chaos. Mike Clancy of the Prospect Union echoed the warning, arguing that Reeves is slashing headcount without any serious assessment of the long-term consequences. And the timing couldn't be worse. As public services groan under post-pandemic strain and departments struggle to clear backlogs and deliver critical services, mass redundancies threaten to turn a slow-moving bureaucratic crisis into a full-blown operational collapse. We want value for money, Reeves said. But what good is value if services grind to a halt? Shadow Business Secretary Andrew Griffith has gone even further, accusing Reeves of overseeing a stealth return to austerity. Speaking to GB News, he coined the term now dominating headlines: Reeves-terity. According to Griffith, the spring statement won't offer stability, but will instead mark the beginning of a new economic clampdown dressed in progressive clothing. She clobbered Britain with her first budget, he thundered, and now she's coming for the disabled, civil servants and drivers. This is not economic reform, this is economic vandalism. And the public? They're noticing. Polls show plummeting confidence in Labour's ability to manage the economy without resorting to cuts. Starmer, desperate to pivot away from the negativity, has announced a £5 billion road maintenance fund aimed at fixing potholes and appeasing drivers. But the initiative has been met with scepticism. Critics call it a distraction, a shiny object dangled in front of a nation that's already feeling the sting of budgetary betrayal. Rachel Reeves insists there is no return to austerity. But her actions, taxing EVs, abandoning public sector workers, and ignoring green pledges, paint a different picture. One of managed decline, masked by progressive slogans. Labour promised a new chapter. Instead, voters are seeing familiar headlines: cuts, charges, chaos. And as the spring statement looms, Rachel Reeves is about to find out that, for all her talk of hard choices,